Hey, this is Retired Geek Woman Adventures with Rhiannon with Kynseed RETIRED Slow Play Part number 6. We are going to pick up right where we left off last time, and the main storyline, or the thing that's kind of driving us in the background, this part is telling us to seek the Grandmasters, and one at a time we pretty much are. We already met Twig, who is the fishing master, and we met Jogon, who is the combat master, and we're supposed to meet, I think, an archer, Moon, I think is their name. One thing we want to try to remember always to do is fill that brownie bowl with something every day. And if we don't, we saw in a previous episode there was a list of things that will go wrong if we do not fill that brownie bowl, and it kind of just gets worse and worse each day you forget. So I really try to make an effort to make sure that happens. And as long as we're keeping this pig, and I don't know, it's really kind of a pain to have it around, honestly, but it does give us fertilizer if I can do it right, which I didn't do a very good job there. It puts fertilizer on the places that we plan to grow anything, and I think it has to do with quality, I'm pretty sure, and some things do better with pig fertilizer and some with sheep. So at some point we may have to get some sheep, and again, it's all about the quality of the products, and some of the skill masters are requiring, and some people require like cooked products, for instance, that have a pretty high quality, and the way to really do that is to make sure that your ingredients are high, and of course your skill in cooking has to be high as well. You saw me checking my calendar, and that is really something you should get in the habit of doing every day. There's various events and things that happen, and if you go too quickly or you skip checking that calendar, you're going to miss important things. So each day you probably should lay your day out. I'm telling you how to play. This is how I play. Each day I kind of lay my day out on what do I plan to do today, which quests do I plan to do today. I wanted to get some more seeds. You can see I have plenty of money. I haven't been an adult very long, but I had done a lot of fishing, probably way too much fishing, and sold my fish as a child. Plus I had gotten a little bit of 50, I think I had told you guys it was 100. It's only 50 though, from Uncle Bill, who left us in a secret place. So I had a little bit of money there. So that's why I got a little bit extra money. I do have some big plans for it, but at this point, I'm happy that I have this money. So if I want to go buy seeds, I can buy seeds. So I'm not scraping the barrel and not being worried about having money. Obviously have 223 brass is not a ton of money, but I don't think twice about paying 4 or 8 for seeds either. So as you saw, I grabbed my fishing rod. I do so much enjoy fishing in this game, and it really doesn't help at all when you fish the ground. This is the community board for this area, and it has various tasks. You get, and the one on the right, you get 30 friendship points for bringing Grave Lilac to Pappy Cow. You can either take the task and then hope that you either have or find the item. Some of them are more difficult than others. The hampered ones, I'm probably going to remove it. You can remove quests from your log. It does not hurt your relationship with people to do that. The hampered ones want you to collect a bunch of items, and sometimes it's either as many as 5 items and a bunch of each of those 5 items, and it takes a long time to do, and I don't want to give up that much stuff because I just don't have that many. I need them for other things. I want to give items as gifts and whatever. So anyway, that's your one way to get quests. Another way to get, or tasks I should say, and the other way is to talk to people, and they have various tasks that you can take or not. I'm really working very hard at not getting my log so full that I have to scroll 3 or 4 pages to see everything, because to me it's too much of a mismatch. Oh, an opal tench. Wow, I think that might be the first one I've caught. So that's pretty cool. I know it is the first this playthrough. I started it before and kind of played into it a little while, and I thought, you know what, this is so much fun. I have got to share this with my subscribers. So I decided to start over. So I didn't get very far, but I think that's the first opal that I found. So this will, look at that, double fish. I'll take it. More fish, more money. And so anyway, just kind of walking along, and you can see this beautiful scenery. One thing I had done is turn down the volume. First, I turned down the sound in the game, and because the music in the game, because sometimes the music sometimes is distracting to me. So usually I have it on very low in the background. And then when I worked on this video for you, I turned the sound down even further. So I'm going to work on that balance a little bit. I can't have the music in the game. Because I'll get a copyright problem, and they don't like that. So I'll have to make sure there's no music playing, but I can have the sound effects up a little bit so you can hear it. By the way, the music in this game is so lovely, and it's such a relaxing game to play. Really, really relaxing game to play. Something interesting here is I came here kind of to see Ash Brown. He doesn't live here anymore. I'm like, well, where the heck did he go? It's like, I almost want to say, Arthur, where's your son? So there's Arthur, Teresa, and Rosemary's the baby. So I was very confused for a moment. Ash moved out, and he's kind of the guy I'm thinking about being intended to. So I was looking here at my various stats. There's these different icons down below. These are your relationships. You can see how old people. Ash is 22 now. So it says his home is the burial grounds. How curious is that? So lots of other things must have happened in those 5 years that I didn't know about. It's like, what the heck? So anyway, speaking of marriage, since I'm on the topic, there are very few, if you are wanting to marry a male and your current age is 18 and you can't marry till you're 20, there are very few males around that age at all. And so I don't know why that is. It would seem that they're pushing you in a certain direction unless you want to marry a much older person, a much older male. Now, if you're wanting to marry females, there's a lot more options. So I thought that was kind of curious. Look, here's where Ash Brown lives. I have no idea why Ash Brown lives here. I'm thinking, why? And where is he? I want to talk to him. Let's have a conversation, Ash. What the heck? Man, I couldn't pick any of his stuff growing there. So, I don't know. I guess to me it seemed like a logical choice, but watching other players talk about this, they've kind of all said the same thing, that there's very few males even close to your age. And, I don't want to marry someone that's 20 years older. I don't want to try to go after somebody who's already married. This game is a very fun, interesting game to play. It has a lot of nuances and quirkiness, and you can break up marriages. So it's like, okay, there's Ginger Nut. So you can break up marriages by going after, there's nobody you can't marry except the masters. Those 5 masters, you can't marry them, but everybody else is fair game. Okay, I would not do that. I would not try to break up relationships. So that would leave basically only a couple of male choices for me. And I don't know, I just thought it was curious that it is that way, but it's okay. Hopefully when my children that I'll eventually have are of age, there will be more people for them to partner with and stuff. So I don't know, it's very, very interesting. We'll see as we go along here. As I started to mention, the marriage thing starts, you can only do that at age 20. So I've got a couple of years here where I can't marry anyone. You can make good friends with people. It's a good time to work on those relationships. Working on relationships have a lot of uses. There are things that happen as a result of those relationships. First off, let's say if there's a single person like Ash living by himself and he had a little plots of fruits and vegetables there. If I become very good friends with him, when I click on the home stone that is next to the house, at some point that bar goes up enough that I can take his stuff. I can take his fruits and vegetables that are growing in his yard. So that's one reason to have relationships. They also send you gifts in the mail for your friendship, and sometimes they can be really valuable gifts. And so they give you tips. If you talk to them, they will give you hints and proverbs and things like that that can be really helpful as you go along. They can even tell you people's birthdays and things like that. They can tell you what other people like and don't like. And by the way, I knew there was fish here. I wanted the fish, and they were annoying me because they were going away from my fishing rod. And I love fishing. I just do. So when I have these little fishing things like this, we'll talk about other things so I don't bore you to death. But I think it's a really fun mechanism, and I like it to be a pretty good sized part of what I do. So I'll find other things to talk about so I don't bore you. Hopefully you're not bored with my ramblings. So anyway, I do like the family setup in this game. It moves along. It doesn't stay stagnant. You don't marry someone and stay married to them for 85 to 100, 1,000 years. It changes, because at 50 years old, and we saw that Fairweather told us this, we will pass on at 50 years old, and the farm goes to someone else. It kind of explains that your soul goes on to live in, it didn't say the soul, but it says you go on to live in your children. And so I'm going to give him, he likes blueberries, and I knew that, so I thought, okay, I'll give him a blueberry to work on that relationship. And as you can see, we are getting close and close to that highest relationship. So you will pass on your legacy to your selected heir. So if you have a number of children, by the way, I shouldn't have done that. It's kind of disrespectful. This is a burial area. This is where the funerals happen. It's called the ponds for funerals. And this is where Uncle Bill, when we saw that flashback that our sibling was describing, showing us what happened, this is where they had the funeral for Uncle Bill, and so this is where they have that. So I shouldn't probably be trying to fish in the burial pond, but there is a fish there. So anyway, choosing an heir, then that person not only takes all your stuff, like your farm and all of that, but they also take all of your skills. So it's not critical that you reach the highest level of anything. There's Ash. What are you doing? So it's not critical that you reach the highest level of anything in your first life. Basically, you're going to live on. So I think that's kind of cool and interesting. I don't know that I've ever played a game that was like that. So I just found it fascinating that you find someone. There's another map stone. Thankfully, I found it. Which one is? And I quit fishing. Oh, I put my fishing rod away. Yeah, I have one more in this area. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted. This game has so many things to do and see and think about, and directions. It's like, wow. It's like squirrel. And one time I did that and a squirrel ran by. So I just think that's an interesting mechanism as far as families. I've never seen anything like it before. And maybe there are, but I have never played one. So I find this interesting that we will be passing on things to our children, ourselves, really. I am going to work very hard at slowing down and reading books. The proverbs that I pick up, those little leaflet things, I'm just going to pick those up quickly and move on, because those things aren't useful until you're looking for something. So if you want to know something about cointail fish, then you can go back to your proverbs and look for cointail fish, and all the proverbs that you had picked up about them will be right there. So there's no point in reading them. You're not going to remember them with all the things that you've done between now and the time you need to know something about cointail fish. But the books and such, I am going to work on reading them, because, and that one I purposely didn't read it. I just left some time there. I'm going to make sure that I slow down in the future, because these first few episodes, I just kind of flipped through stuff way too fast, so that there was no time to read it. So I do apologize on that. So I'm going to work on that, and I'll be working on specific goals. So this is not just a random playing. There's going to be specific things that I want to accomplish in the game that I want to show you. It's one of those games that basically never ends. at least as far as I know. As far as I know, your legacy can go on forever and ever. Talking with other players in Discord, and by the way, I've added the Discord channel to the description so that you can go there. That seems to be the best place to get very quick, accurate information, usually accurate. The ones that I've seen so far, they have gotten to their second generation. Some people have. I don't think anybody's gotten past that because it does take time. And, this game only came out as of 2 days from now, from the time of this recording. The game has only been out a couple of months. And so even those that are playing it, pretty much nonstop, they've gotten to their second generation. So it's going to take a while for it to, for people to start reporting that they're on their third and fourth generations, which, and those are people that are power gaming it, which is not me. And so if you haven't watched any of my episodes of any of my games, then I've explained very clearly that I'm not a power gamer. I like to enjoy the journey, and this game is particularly suited for that. You can play it any way that you want. You can figure out the best way of doing whatever, fill in the blank, XYZ, or you can just kind of take it a day at a time and say, okay, well, what happened today? So it leads you gently in various directions. So there are things that happen on certain days, but for the most part, you can just take a very relaxed take on this game if you want, and barely do anything your first generation. One thing I don't know, and we'll have to find out, is your relationships with people. I don't know if that translates to, or if that goes to your heir or not. Again, that's so far down the road. I'm currently 18 years old, and I have until 50 until any of that plays into anything. So I was really glad I found that map stone, and it was completely by accident because I was looking for fishing holes. So it's like, oh, there it is. I like it when the map's completely open. You can see everything, and it's almost an annoyance to me when there's not. Oh, look at checkered chub, first one, by the way. And I need checkered chubs for twig, I think. But I think they need, or 2-star, but I don't remember. So again, it's not a rush. I'm not in a rush. I will be, when I turn 20, I'm going to be very much into finding my mate, whoever I choose that to be, and getting a family started. And so I find that to be a very fun, interesting mechanism, and happy to share it with you. This is all about relationships and families. And so it's just the most fun, interesting, engaging game I've played in a while. And at the same time I'm playing this, I'm also playing Stardew Valley at the same time. And it just turned out that way because I was playing Stardew Valley in another game. Then this game came out, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, we've got to play that. We've got to share that with people. I figure if I'm so obsessed with something that I can't stop playing it, it's probably a good sign that it would be a good one to share with you guys. And I had checked to see if there were very many playthroughs or gameplays. I don't know what you call them, whatever you choose to call them. And there weren't very many. There are a few, and one of them is actually quite good. That person is a power gamer, and I've watched, maybe 15 or 20 hours that person has played, and it's like, holy cow, I haven't done 1% of that yet. So I thought it was interesting, and it's a difference. So that's fine. If you want to see someone power game, that person is out there. I'm sure there's other ones out there. And this person's are very good, and they are family friendly. I don't know how to say other than tell you that my playthroughs are family friendly. I had the most lovely comment from someone, one of my new subscribers, that said that my playthroughs were wholesome. And I just thought, wow, that just made me feel so good that someone recognized that, because I do try anyway to make sure that this would be okay for children to watch. It doesn't have any overt adult content that children should not see, and I always watch my language and things. I have grandkids of my own that watch this, and varying ages. So if I'm okay with my own grandkids watching it, then it's okay for other kids to watch it. So, but I can't put this, it's for children, because otherwise, then in that case, no one can make comments. And I love your comments. I love it when people say things about the play and make suggestions and things like that. Doesn't mean I can take them necessarily, but I definitely appreciate them so much. And what you see me doing here, this is the general store, and I was selling my fish. You can only sell 25, I think it's per day, not 100% sure, but 25 brass worth per day. And that's how I've ended up with, as an adult. I think I was looking at it when that happened. I had 201 brass the night before I became an adult, and that was all a result of doing quests and of mostly fishing and selling those fish. So my ultimate goal, first big goal, I don't know when it will happen for sure, probably sooner rather than later, is I'm going to open a store. I love being a store owner, and I'll have employees because I don't necessarily want to stand in my store for hours a day, and I don't, I'd rather have employees. I'm going to buy my first store as soon as I can. The stores that you can buy an eel, that's the first one for that too, and I got two. My goodness, how awesome. The first store that you can buy in this first village, the Candlewitch Village, is it costs $500 to buy into the store. So that's going to be my first monetary goal, is to save up at least 500 brass. That's the coin here, and I can't see where I'm going, so it's dark. Save up and purchase the store, because it's a great moneymaker, and I think it's a really fun mechanic. And so there's different ones. There's a blacksmith, there's a general store, and apothecary. All are 500 to purchase. And by the way, I couldn't resist doing a little bit more fishing. It's 1 a.m. You don't fall asleep as an adult anymore like you did as a child. But I can barely see the screen here. But I thought, man, you can catch different fish in the day and night, raining, different seasons. And so I just thought maybe I should give it a try. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. That's something I am going to do as soon as I can. I don't know when it will happen. So I've gained probably 40 brass, plus I've spent some on seeds and such since I became an adult, which was only a couple days ago. So, and I wanted to double check over here. Oh, I wasn't sure about this pond, and I really couldn't see if there were any fish, if I had already caught them. I mean, again, it's a good use of my time to be doing this at night. At the same time, I can't really see, and I prefer to do most of my playing or doing or adventuring. Moonfish, that was worth it. I do most of my playing and adventuring and things during the day where I can see the screen better. And I don't know if there's settings to make it not quite so dark. I mean, I can change my monitor. I've already turned it up pretty well, but I don't know. It's something that I think they should look at for visibility issues, but it's pretty dark. But of course I could use a lantern or something if I really wanted to. And I probably should have just shine a lantern on the pond here so I could actually see, but it's okay. I'm making progress and getting fish. I like that moonfish I got. That was pretty cool. I haven't caught very many of those. I don't know if I'm going to need them for anything. So, the fishing master Twig will continually have us, bring fish to him, different kinds of fish. And again, I don't know what they are. I'm trying to hit these fish right on the head instead of waiting for them. It's already 4 a.m. Oh my gosh, but it is getting lighter out. So we waited it out. The game, you don't have to actually sleep at all if you don't want to, if you want to use that time. But at 6 a.m., the game saves. And I was looking over here, there's a bush right up there, and you can get a night berry on that bush, but I think it's too late. It seems like to me it's after 9 or 10 p.m., but we really need to kind of get that every once in a while. So I thought, you know what, let's go in here and go to bed. And since there's no one else living here, I'll take this bed because it's by the lovely fireplace. And it was already 5 a.m., so sleeping for 1 hour just because, but it auto saves at 6, always. So even if you're one of those people that say, I'm not going to bed ever, go to my brownie bowl. Good job remembering that right off the bat. And let's see, and you can put anything in it you want. It doesn't matter. So I probably shouldn't even be using carrots. I'm going to feed my cow because I want them to love me. And trying to get in the habit of using the slingshot for the fruits in the bushes and trees. Supposedly you get higher quality. Here I'm getting 1 stars. Ugh. But you're supposed to get higher quality. I'm trying to see the other trees don't have anything, and I'm going to feed the pig. I generally feed the pig a dandelion. That's why I'm picking them up still, even though I don't need them anymore, because it gives me fertilizer. Just immediate. It gives it to me usually immediately. So I fed you. Thank you for the fertilizer, and I'll continue to fertilize. It's like, okay, where did I miss last time? Good, I got it that time. So it's like not too smart to not get it in the right place. And if I'm going to plant anything, then it really, does supposedly helps the quality. But again, I don't know. Let's see, what is on our schedule for today? Pappy Cow wants a grave lilac. I'm not sure if I have one. Seek the Grandmasters, and we are ready to find Moon, I do believe, is who we need to find. And I shouldn't have picked that one. I need to find Moon. I need to learn ranged combat. Yeah. So you can see learn 3 of 5 skills. And there's a couple ways you can accomplish that. I thought there was only one way to accomplish that, because that's what I just thought. I thought I had to seek out the individual, all 5 of them individually. But as it turns out, you can learn a couple of skills from one of them. Combat is something that I just do not like at all in any game. And generally, I just kind of deal with it, and it's probably why I'm so bad at it. I just kind of deal with it as far as I have to do it. So the beauty of this game is that you don't necessarily have to learn, you don't have to have much combat. So I think that's wonderful. I can do other things. I can be that shop owner, and I can be a spouse and a parent and a farmer and a good citizen and helping others and things like that. I can do those things, and I don't have to do anything else. It's not a win-lose situation in the game. So it's kind of cool. I love they designed it that way, that you can play however you want. So I will do parts of it to get the story to move along. Like here it said, I need to get 5 skills, and I saw something there. I want to pick up that Bowing Nancy flower. So pick up everything you find. Anything you see on the screen that can be picked up, pick it up, because one way or another you're going to use it, and you have no limit to your inventory. So that's kind of cool. So as I was saying, you can just do what you want to do, and don't do what you don't want to do. There's nothing that says you have to own a store. It's just something that I want to do. And nothing that says that you have to get married and have children. You can stay single. When you die and it passes on to the next person, they will, an orphan is given you or something. I think is what it said. Oh, I just missed a mapstone. An orphan. There's a poppy. Haven't seen that before. The first time you pick up something, it pops up the little screen. It tells you kind of what it is. So anyway, I wanted to say that real quick before I forgot. So anyway, again, there's so many different things you can do. You can live your life in this land of Quill any way you want. And I'm passing so many stones. Oh, I hate that. Because when I'm looking, what I'm doing is looking ahead and not at the whole entire screen. So I really need to not do that. So it says I'm in the correct region for the task. My task that I'm trying to do is learn ranged combat from Moon the Archer. So it says I'm in the right area. When you come into the right area like this, most of the time your fairies just stop showing you and say, hey, it's here somewhere, go find it. Click on the statues, because next time I want to fast travel here, I'm able to do that. And find those map stones so it opens up the area. This must be somewhere along here is Moon the Archer. Okay, some kind of backtracking. Oh, a map stone and a charmweed and a Bowing Nancy. That's again a flower. And those can be used for all kinds of things. People request them, and they can be used at the apothecary, all kinds of things. So I don't know where this Moon fellow or lady or whatever is. Moon is just a name. That's who we're looking for. I'm stuck behind the tree. It's like, come on. And it's raining again. Oh, I love that. I know some people hate it. I love it. Aha! Who is this? Ah, the seedling. An honor to have you visit my quiet little corner. Welcome to Hunter's Bluff. My name is Moon. I am the master of archery. I've looked in the mirror and receiving the blessing of the goddesses. Now I am here to teach those willing to learn the grace of the hunter. I need to estimate your skills before I can give you the tool you need to pierce the hearts of your prey. If you can hit the target on the island to the east of this region, you can return to me and claim your prize. If you need a tool to help, I suggest a slingshot may help. Okay, so that's one reason why I had picked up a slingshot, as I knew that we were going to have to come here. And island, this is not an island. Not too smart, huh? I was like going way off here. I just wasn't thinking. There's an island you're supposed to hit target. It's not really an island. And something should have said, not here. Ah, there's an island down below, but there's a bowing Nancy. Another bowing Nancy. And an island. I'm on the wrong side of this little island. So in the island, hit the target. That was such a simple thing that we were told to do. Obviously, my brain went, what? So it bounced right off at the target and bounced into the water. It ricocheted. Okay. And where's Moon? There's Moon. Ah, you hit the target. One day your arrows will sing through the air like a chorus. Every archer needs a bow, so here is yours as promised. Meet me in the burrow down the slope to the west of Drown Hill. And I will show you just how your bow can help you open up your strategical options in combat. All right, so where are we at there? There it is. And okay, so we're going to have to get something to open that up. They're called knob eyes. So we somehow need to get 3 knob eyes, and I have the feeling that Moon is going to tell us what to do. So it's, you can see, so I wasn't sure what to do. When I went back to my task, it told me meet Moon in the burrow. So somewhere in this burrow, now Moon is standing right here, but I need to go to a Moon. So west of, oh, it's a her, the west of her camp in Drown Hill. So west would be a left, so somewhere over here is where I'm supposed to meet Moon to learn the next part. So I'm trying to open that skill, and this is the next thing that I have to do. Okay, what if that's it? We'll find out. Yes. Ah, here you are. Let us verse you in the way of the hunter. In combat, your bow is mainly used to disrupt your enemies. Arrows can break a block instantly, disrupt enemy attacks, and remove their stamina. Draw your bow by holding right trigger and use the stick to select an enemy, or use the right mouse button and hover the cursor over your target. Release to fire. You can try a quick draw and fire, but make sure your accuracy stats are good. Quiver can only hold 6 arrows, so use them wisely. So again, I'm not doing too good on my timing on when to read. So anyway, bows and arrows, easy to use. Basically, they will stagger your targets. They can disrupt your enemies, whatever they're doing, but you only have like 5 arrows. That's what those things are right there, are arrows at the top. You only have 5. Your potential glimmers like stars. With use, your bow will become more powerful. A mastered bow is a deadly weapon indeed, but that is all you need. to know for now. Return to me at my tent if you wish to learn skills that will help you become a nightmare for your foes. Farewell for now. So I was supposed to learn ranged combat, and I did learn ranged combat. And Moon gave me a bow. So that was awesome. That, I don't know why it's not saying I haven't learned any. I did learn a skill. Oh, it's the eye. Yeah. Knob's eye. I gotta get Knob's eyes. And I was double checking here and go, why is that not? And then I realized, yeah. You need only 5 skills total. So I could learn more ranged combat. I could learn gardening, which I do definitely want to learn from Marshtyt. And it tells me I can seek out these various ones. So, I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go. I do know I do want to unlock gardening. One thing, there is a wiki. There's a couple of wikis where you can get information. So if you don't know where someone's located, like where's Marshtyt, where was Moon, where these various people are, you can check the wiki and it tells you where they're located. And I'm talking about the official wiki that's on the main website. So I have included in my descriptions the main website so that you can go check it out yourself. And there's also, I found a really good player wiki, and I've included that. It's kynseed.fandom.com, and that I found to be helpful when I was looking for somebody. And also I've included the Discord channel link. So if you're really getting stuck and you're frustrated, or you feel like you're wasting time, then that's a good place to go to get some of those answers. And so I had, I really wanted to meet this gardening person who I don't think I've met yet, who's called Marshtyt. And it's like, oh, sunflower. And so I had come over here, and I'm headed towards where I believe they are. And just kind of an interesting area. It's a whole different area. It's like, okay, how can I get over to that? There we go. Sometimes it wasn't too obvious to me, but I'm not the most sharpest stick in the pond. Oh dear. You all think I've lost it now, I'm sure. So, discover date locations. If you haven't seen that before, there's when you start to the process of the dating someone and marriage and all that, they will request a date to go somewhere. And that's what that was. It was a dating location discovered. So sometimes they'll pick a random location and say, I would like to go here on a date. So it's helpful if you actually know where you're going. Again, with the bright orange stars above people's heads are people we haven't met yet. And so this person has a neutral relationship with us, meaning they don't like us and they don't hate us yet. So I'm at this point, in my eyes, I know some people they're all about the relationships in the beginning, and I kind of wanted to focus on the people that I've already that I come across down closer in my part of the world. So I decided, I'm not going to work on the people here. It seems like to me, if you stop every single time there's someone to meet, or there's someone to pick up, or something to do, you'll never get anywhere. So I was like, no, I've got to focus. I'm trying to find this Marshtyt character. So I've already met Old Mother Hubbard, I've met Twig, I've met Moon now. And so I'm trying to figure out, which way am I going? Where am I going? Again, this world is huge from what I've seen. I know I'm comparing it to other similar games, and I've not seen anything quite this large, and quite so many things to do, and so many people to meet. I don't even know how many people there are to meet. Each region has its own list of people, and you can find out, have I met all these people in this region? And if you haven't, it'll just, their name won't be there. These are homestones, shows who lives in the house if you've met these people, which I have not yet. And so The homestones can tell you your relationships with the people of the house as well. So all kinds of things to do and see. It's almost overwhelming sometimes. And it's like, okay, where am I at? I'm trying to figure out where I'm going and how to get where I'm going. Again, there's so many places, and I realized I had come down too far from where I was trying to go. This is Mellowbrook and Mellowfields. And remember that we kind of live, and I do that in quotation marks, in the Vale is where we live. So, and I don't know what they call those regions, towns. I think it's towns and regions. I think. But I have to look it up because I don't want to tell you wrong for the next 85 episodes and then find out, that I was totally wrong. We'll get there. There's another map. I'm finding map stones completely by accident. It's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to head to the west is what I'm trying to do. All right, now I'm in Fine Fair of Mellowfields. And this looks like each region, if you will, has fairgrounds, and this looks like that. It's like, okay, I'm headed that way, sort of. Yep. I'm not headed to the fairgrounds. I think it's Twanging Gardens is where I'm trying to get to. And I think I may have found it finally after wandering around most of the day. Okay, we did find it. And a proverb to boot. So awesome. So easy to miss things, and it's also very embarrassing as rewatching my play and seeing that I completely missed a mapstone. At least I found a goddess statue so that I can come back here. Gracious sakes. There's just so much. So this is lovely. Mapstone over here. And it looks like and look, we're able to pick things. Ooh. All right. So it appears that this master here, who has an amazing garden, we can get stuff for free. This is not actually technically stealing. I really need to use that slingshot more. It's not technically stealing. It's just, hey, you can have this stuff for free. So we're going to go ahead and take it. Oh, look at that. I just went up a level with my slingshot, and I found a gooseberry that I hadn't found before. So it's like, yeah, all right. Very cool. Man, what is this? This is the Well-Hanging Gardens. And there he is, or she, I think it's a he. Marshtyt. Oh no, will take my spade and grab my onions. Speaking my knowledge, are you seeking? I will give you a few pointers for sure. Just don't spoil yourself, and you will be plowing in no time. Yes, it is raining. Okay, what do we need? He wants 4 pears. It just so happens I have pears. All right, here we go. Click it, and there it is. I remember when I was starting out, there was another gardener competing for domain of the local soil patch. Back then, the soil was much rarer and growing things so much harder. It took real skill. But, as I was saying, I had a green-fingered rival, some kind of medical condition, I think, whose name was, funnily enough, Greenfinger. We had a beat-off, a duel to see who can grow the best beets in a day. Beat him with a beat of about 3 feet. Say that 10 times. So our next level is showing here. We need 8 carrots, which we do have. Clicking one at a time really slow. I could go faster. And we need basil. We need 4 of those. And we need 8 cabbages. Is that what that is? And I only have 4. So we got a ways to go. I'm going to hang on. I only need 1 star, so I decided to wait since I was short anyway. And on the other side, again, you can see, like, the next one is going to can never get rotten fruit, even if cursed by the brownies. So you get benefits as you finish those things. So let's look at what I've done here. I've acquired cooking, I've acquired melee and ranged. I still need the nabai. Again, I thought at the time that I was doing this that I had to do the skills of those 5 people before I could get that particular quest done. I've learned 4 of 5 skills total. And I should have read it from any combination of masters. So I could seek them out. I could completely not do any more here and go do all of Twig's skill levels things. I could keep going up that list. So I did not understand that. I didn't read this closely enough. Any skills you already gained counts towards da-da-da. So I just didn't understand that that's how that... I thought all of these had to be acquired or unlocked. And I thought this was one. I thought I had to do this. So that was my own bad. I did not understand that it could be any combination. And as far as I know, about the only way to get a Nabai is to go into an Uggy place. Go into combat. That's what I thought. So that's okay. It's good to do a little bit of uncomfortableness from time to time. And gardening, okay. It says acquired, fishing acquired, cooking acquired, Malay acquired. It doesn't say that was acquired. So that's why I thought I absolutely had to do that. And I had 4 out of 5, and I just wanted to move along the storyline just a little bit, and I thought that's what I had to do to do that. So I looked at the map and going to figure out where Moon is, or where I need to go to do the next part of the combat part, I guess. And so I thought I would go back to the statue and head back to where Moon is located. And I was pretty sure there was a place there that I had to go to do the next part, so that's why I was heading there. Again, you know, it's an exploration thing. I'm going to use that as my excuse for my misunderstanding of how and what I needed to do. Again, you know, I normally, when I play a game, I research everything. I know when I was playing Skyrim for the first time, or any of the Elder Scrolls games, I purchased the Prima Guide and read it cover to cover multiple times before I ever started playing. And then I was on the wikis, and, you know, there was rarely anything that surprised me, because I didn't let myself be surprised, because I was so afraid that I would make it a wrong choice. And in that game, you know, you really could make bad choices that really affected things. So I've always been leery of doing that. So in this game, there isn't that much available yet. So I thought, you know, what's the worst that can happen? You know, start over? I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the universe. I mean, this is so much fun. So I'm kind of just playing blind and not... oh, look at that, finally. It's kind of... I'm surprising myself and things that I'm doing. And so... I hope that that's okay with you guys, that I'm kind of make mistakes. I kind of don't know what I'm doing, and I figure them out later. And I'll give you a heads up if that happens. Something else that I will do, if there are times, like there was a time right here that I clicked on that. So, okay, I need the knob eyes. And I wandered around in the dark forever. And then I came back to stand next to Moon, and I decided to cut all of that out. I didn't want to waste your time watching me wandering around and then making the decision to go home, is what I basically did. So sometimes I will do that if it's something that's like, okay, that wasn't useful for you in any way, shape, or form. That didn't help you in any way, shape, or form. It was boring. So I will cut some of those things out so as not to, and it won't be big chunks. I won't, you know, I'm not going to do days or anything like that, but something like this where I wandered around for a while trying to figure out what to do, I'll go ahead and take it out so that you're not bored. So you can see here that I went ahead and hit up the goddess statue and going to go ahead and get home. So that's what I'm doing to the closest statue that I had clicked on, which was the Druida's... I forget the area, the Druida right next to our house. And it's so dark, I cannot see. It's midnight, and so when it's raining especially, it's super dark like this. It's cloudy. I've seen it when it's dark and not so dark. I mean, it's nighttime and not so dark. This is so dark I can barely see. And I think that's a good place to end this episode. I'm going to try to keep my episodes between 45 and 60 minutes. I think longer than that is too long. And so with that, I hope that you're enjoying this journey with me. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. It really does help you to like me better, and it lets me know I'm doing something that other people find valuable. The most important thing, though, is I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.